Hey, a bunch of things happened yesterday, and it reminds me about how important it is to plan your day every single day. And in the Sundays, you have to plan your week. So this is very important, and it prevents you to do some decision fatigue, because I think decision fatigue is so annoying sometimes. It's so annoying that you have to think about what should I do? What should I do right now? What time do I have? And I was spending my days like I was working, and when I come back to my place, I like to read something, and then I go to bed and sleep. And I didn't think that my day was productive as well, because most of the time I was in the company and most of the time I was sleeping, even though I sleep for 5.5 to 6 hours per day. And it works for me, okay? So I'm not suggesting you to sleep like for 5 or 6 hours. It works for me, but I don't know if it works for you. But if it works, it's okay. But if you really need like 8 hours, it's okay, You don't need to push yourself that much. But always plan your day. Like nowadays I have an iPad, and I'd like to do some planning. So what should I do today? What should I do tomorrow? I have a week planner when I do on Sundays. So I have a week planner that I do on Sundays, and then every single day I try to organize myself. What should I do now? What should I do next? And this kind of things. And so the thing is, when I am working, when I am in the office, I know that I have a daily basis, like a planner that is different from when I reach my place over here, my home, that I need to learn something new. And one of the things that I was doing a lot is to use artificial intelligence, because I learned it. This is skipping the main content right here, right now, but I really need to tell you this. You really need to know the basics of programming, just the basics. You don't need to push yourself so hard to learn a lot of things if this is not your core, okay? I was in finance industry since the beginning of my life, my experience career. So I'm not telling you to be the next like genius in programming, this kind of thing, unless you want. But if this is not your core, just learn the basics, because if you can learn your basics, you can leverage yourself using artificial intelligence to create a lot of things. So this is very important for you, because if you know how to automate things, your life will get less bored. Because something that I am, I don't know how to say that, but I'm a kind of a I'm a kind of a lazy guy, because I don't like to do things that I should do every single day, like every single day the same thing, the same process, and copy paste, these kind of things. But if I'm learning something like using artificial intelligence, it will make my life more productive and more enjoyable. Because one of the things is, when you're doing something that you not enjoy but you're still doing and these kind of things, so this is very bad. And I like to use artificial intelligence to leverage myself to learn more. And even though I have 2 subscriptions right now, I'm not suggesting you to do that, but if you want, I have ChatGPT to learn things, to create content, to sometimes I want to send an email and I want to rephrase that. ChatGPT is better for human-like LLM, like large language models. It is a human-like. And Perplexity is when you want to search for something in the internet, because ChatGPT can search things on the internet, but it would take like 3 to 4 websites. But Perplexity, it would do like 20 websites if they need it, because you can find a lot of the things that you want in the internet. But Perplexity will help you to find these things, because it is easier. If you want to learn something about statistics in NFL to draft your team better, you can use Perplexity, because it is really good, and I use that as well. And even though you can fine-tuning your model using, like, at least I follow pro football and this kind of things, but this is content for another video. But Perplexity is to learn something, it's to search something that you want. If you want to, at least, for example, if you want to write a book, you can use Perplexity to find sources. to find more information that you want in the internet. And even though Perplexity can find things on the internet right now, like ChatGPT would take some information that they only have for 2022, I think right now. I don't remember if it's 2022 or 2021, but they only have sources from that on. If you really want to test that, you can turn off the internet on the ChatGPT and ask who's the president right now running in your country, and you will know where the models come from, like the year that they launched the model. Nowadays they use internet and it makes simpler, but the thing is still, I think that ChatGPT cannot find so many sources as Perplexity do, so I'm using Perplexity a lot and ChatGPT for human-like, for coding, for example. I really enjoy to use that. And Perplexity, I didn't test so much because I got so used to the API in the OpenAI and all of the things. So it makes my life easier. So jumping all of this to the main content, that is decision fatigue and planning. So most of the days when I have to think about what should I do right now, what should I do next, it makes myself having a decision fatigue about what should I do next. And this is very bad for you, because if you're taking time to decide what you should do next, it is taking time. And if you are working and if you are doing something that is very productive, if you're taking your time to think what should I do, it is bad for you because you have less time in the end of the day. So this is bad. What you can do to better yourself in this way, like creating a checklist. Checklist is very good. So I always use checklists when I'm working, because sometimes you have like 5 to 7 tasking a day, and you have to think about all of the things that you should do, what's the priority and all these things. But you should do this in your life as well. So your social life, your planning your weekends, because most of the days I was like, I will let myself go, because on the weekends I like to enjoy with my friends, with family and this kind of thing. So what I was doing is to not think about my weekends, but on the weekends is the days that you have more time, because you're not working like in the office, so you have a lot of time to learn and to push yourself forward. So doing a checklist even on the weekends, it is very important, because when you have a checklist, you have the some hormones, like positive hormones, like giving yourself more enjoyable life, that you are completing tasks, and this is very important. So what I like to do when I start my day is to sip a coffee. I always like to have a coffee at first in the morning, and after that I started to do my job. So after that, on the weekends right now, I started to do my things, like if I want to learn something, if I need to clean the house, if I need to do something, everything is in my planner. Everything is in my planner, and I have a checklist. But the only difference is that when I am working, I have a time to complete every task, because every task will take me, like for example, 1 to 2 hours to complete. And if I have a checklist, I can check it. But in the weekends, I don't have this time thing, but I have like a range of the hours that I will spend for doing this and that. So I have even nowadays I even have planner for my weekends. Like for example, I need to clean the house, I need to learn something, I need to read the book. So if I need to read something, I would take half hour of my day to read something. I would take like 2 hours to clean the house, and this kind of things. I will like take 1 hour to look for Instagram, for social media, these kind of things, or even less. Nowadays on my Instagram I have a timer, so if I spend more than 10 minutes, the app will block me, and I will have to unblock the app so I can keep going. So this is very good, by the way. I'm not being sponsored, but I use many apps to block my social media, because one of the things that many people do is to spend too much time in social media, and then your planner goes away because you're spending most of your time doing things that you should not do. Like for example, everybody needs social life, so I'm not telling that you not need social media anymore, but you can limit your time spent in social media as much as you need. So you need to limit the time that you spend on social media, and this is very important because sometimes if you use TikTok, for example, you can go through 5 to 6 hours rolling and you are not even see that. So this is very important too. So what I do nowadays is I have an iPad, so I'm doing a lot of planning here. By the way, I like to write with my hands instead of writing in the keyboard. I can write in the keyboard as well, but I prefer to, writing because, all these years that I am working, a lot of people actually, they cannot even write anymore because some of the days when you are in a meeting and people are taking notes, people are writing something, and when you go back, like, remember about that thing that you were talking in the meeting? I forgot, what was that? And he took the notes, but even he took in the notes, he forgot what he wrote, and he can barely read what he just wrote. So this is very important. Keep practicing your writing because this is very important, okay? And I like this tailor-made thing, this is very important. I think for this video, this is it. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this channel, like this video if you like it, and that's it. See you on the next video.